The final trailer to Avatar: The Way of Water dropped, and although there are some repeated shots from previous trailers, we got a number of new ones to talk about. Avatar Theory here, hope you're doing well and having a fantastic day, and in this video I wish to talk about new details I found during this trailer that you may have missed, and if you're an Avatar fan new to the channel, then why not click the subscribe button. When Tsireye walks out of the water, a scene which I'm guessing will be her first introduction to Lo'ak, you can see her eyes are a bit faded for a second. At first glance, this might have seemed like some sort of mistake, but it appears that she actually has another set of eyelids that could be there to possibly protect her eyes from the ocean. Looking at later scenes, it doesn't appear to be there, which gives me the indication that she uses those eyelids when she gets out of the water to essentially protect her eyes, clean her eyes, and even help her see better underwater. A detail I missed last time, but because the scene is here again, I wanted to point out the young Metkayina member that is looking at Lo'ak from behind, specifically at his hand. That is likely because Lo'ak has 5 fingers and not 4, thus to them it seems strange that a Na'vi will have 5 fingers and not 4. On the opening shot of the Sully family, you can actually spot Tuk sleeping in front of Neytiri. As they are traveling to the Metkayina reef, it is likely a long travel, thus easy for a child to fall asleep. When the Sully family flies over the seawall terrace of the Metkayina tribe, you can actually see the tribe being startled a little bit at the bottom. Easily missable, you can even spot the one member dropping their basket as the Sully family is flying over them. This isn't really a big detail, but just wanted to point out the attention to detail, as in the shot where the Banshee lands, you can actually see for a brief moment the sand being pushed up due to the impact of the landing. Again, a small detail that goes a long way and just shows how much attention to detail the VFX team has put into this movie. In the scene where Tonowari says, quote, "Why do you come to us?" end quote, you can actually see that his lips does not match with the words, indicating that the audio is taken out of context and not from the scene.
Why do you come to us? Why do you come to us?
But in this scene, you can actually see Jake, Neytiri, Tuk, and Kiri right there in the back. A detail which I've spoken about before is where Lo'ak greets Aonung with respect, but is surprised that he is ignored. At first it was said that he was looking off at the side to Tsireye, but now with an extended look, we can see that he is actually looking at Rotso, thus knowing that they don't like him at all, that trouble is about to happen, as we know from a later scene, him and Aonung does get into a fight. In the scene of Kiri and the Ilu, you can actually see that the Ilu is kinda getting close to her, connecting with her in a way without Kiri even needing to try, as we see later that the Sully family struggles to bond with an Ilu, giving me more of an indication that Kiri is somehow connected to Eywa. You can even see if you look closely at one point that her Q is connected to the Ilu, again showing how Kiri connects to Pandora with ease. The scene of Lo'ak trying to bond with an Ilu mirrors that of the first movie where Jake tries to bond with a dire horse. You see Lo'ak trying and failing, just like Jake, Aonung laughing at him, just like Tute did to Jake, and Tsireye encouraging him, just like Neytiri did to Jake. Eventually, we see Lo'ak manages to bond with the Ilu successfully, and the scenes that follow, we can also see that the rest of the family did the same. In this scene where 2 Na'vi are holding hands, we can clearly see based on the patterns and tails that these are not Metkayina, despite it taking place under the water, and given how the trailer is edited, it wants to imply that this is Tsireye, but if you look close at the straps on the arm, this matches up with Jake from the previous trailers, and it seems like the patterns on the tail matches up with Neytiri's tail in the main trailers, so for now, I would say that the other person is Neytiri. Interestingly though, the area that they are at has the same light or glow in the scene from the previous trailer where we see Kiri go underwater. This trailer gave us a look for the first time what it's like to see Recoms on top of Banshees. You can clearly see that these are not regular Na'vi, but what may be missable is that Spider is actually sitting in front of one of those Banshees with who looks to be Quaritch. We only got 2 shots of Quaritch in this trailer. One is of a shot we've seen before and another is this one here. It is important to note that these Banshees have some sort of RDA neck harness attached to them, as you can see in the trailer, even on their bellies, and the Banshees by the shore and fire from the previous trailer does not have these harnesses attached. This could possibly be that they were captured by the Recoms at the Metkayina reef, where they attached these harnesses to them, and in order to essentially use them, they forcefully controlled them or bonded with them. As you can clearly see that this scene does take place near the Metkayina reef due to the seawall terrace in the background area. We got yet another look at the SeaDragon, this time fully closed and just leaving Bridgehead. If you look closely, you can actually spot 4 sea wasps flying with it, which is apparently used as Tulkun spotters. Interestingly, if you zoom into the wall, you'll see SGN written on it, which could possibly be Seagate North, because if you look at the top-down view of Bridgehead from the art book, right at the top you can actually see Seagate North as well as North Side Industrial Zone, which matches up with that from this image in the background. Here we see two new Na'vi characters who I'm not quite sure what their names are, but if you look at the back in slow motion, you can actually spot a Recom soldier, as this scene likely takes place before the fire scene from the previous trailer. Interestingly, if you look closer at the soldier using the mech suit or the exoskeleton suit holding a flamethrower, you can see at the back is a Recom using the flamethrower with ease. This just shows how powerful the Recoms are compared to humans. Staying on the scene, we know that Cameron loves his flamethrowers, as this certainly seems to be an Easter egg to Aliens, where we see Ripley using a flamethrower. This scene is showing us again Neytiri's bow, which she received from her father, and this is an extension from previous scenes we've seen before. In fact, in the leaked audio of the scene, Neytiri talks about her father, stating that her father gave her this bow as he lay dying, telling her to protect the people. In the shot where some vehicle are flipping over, at first glance it might look like a truck on a bridge, but if you look carefully at the road, you can see right there in the middle it goes inward, indicating that this is in fact a train track. Also, there are no side rails, and normal bridges would have those for safety reasons. Additionally, you can also spot carriages or trailers at the back crashing, indicating that the bridge was likely destroyed in front of the train, thus it took a dive, crashed, and then flipped over. Continuing onto the scene, this seems to be a nod to a scene in one of Cameron's other films, True Lies, where the bridge also gets destroyed as you see a car do a flip. This scene, although a bit dark to make out everything, reminds me a lot of the artwork we've seen from Avatar 2, especially the part about the Tulkun celebration. We don't know much about the celebration, but as you can see from the art, it has a striking resemblance to the shot from the trailer. Where Neteyim confronts Jake about being a warrior like his dad, based on their outfits and the environment, this likely takes place a bit earlier in the movie, where Jake is probably teaching him how to mount an Ikran. You can see based on the promotional image we got quite a while back that they have similar looks, and Neteyim is probably a little bit hasty on learning the skill. In this scene we can see Jake holding onto an Ilu, likely trying to bond with it and learning how to ride it, but what you may have missed is the strap around his wrist. If you watch this slowly, then you can actually see the strap that is around the saddle of the Ilu, and it's coming loose as Jake loses control of the Ilu. This scene adds to one towards the end of the trailer, where we do see Jake eventually take hold of the Ilu, and you can clearly see the texture of this creature is that of an Ilu. This shot of Jake likely takes place in one of the final battles, as you can see his outfit matches that of the outfit he wears when on top of the Skimwing from the teaser trailer. At the back there you can also spot Kiri, Neytiri, Spider, and Tuk sticking their heads out of the water. In this shot of Neytiri getting on her Banshee, although it is dark, I noticed that at the bottom right there seems to be a person. When I moved this image to Photoshop and made it brighter, I actually noticed that there are two people sitting there. It's really hard to make out who exactly it is, possibly Tsireye and Kiri kneeling over somebody, but something you definitely do not notice when watching the trailer for the first time. This trailer also gave us a different view from where Payakan smashes onto the SeaDragon, as we can now see the faces of the kids being tied down, that being Luak, Tsireye, and Tuk, and you can just see that Tuk smiles in somewhat excitement and amazement, while the other two are seriously worried about what is to happen. If you watch it slowly, you can see their hands being tied to the side there, and when the ship is flipping over, you can see again Tuk is smiling while the others are panicking. You can also notice how the gravity changes because of the boat being flipped over, which is likely where we see the flooding scene from the previous trailers. This new shot gave us a new look at a very dangerous creature, which I believe is the Akula. We don't know much about this creature, but we have seen a radio-controlled toy of this being sold, and we have seen a video of this toy in water. It moves the same way as this creature does, has the same front mouth shape and the same patterns on its back, and seems to be one of the most dangerous water creatures on Pandora. Again, not much is known about the Akula, but I'm pretty certain that this is what it's called. The scene here of Neytiri getting ready to shoot her bow is a direct callback to the first movie, where she is using her bow in an almost exact shot-for-shot motion. Staying on that scene, when you look at it slowly, you can actually see one of the sea wasps that I spoke about earlier, and you can also see that the SeaDragon is on fire, likely being attacked right before Payakan jumps onto the ship. So there you have it. Those are the details that I've found so far on the final trailer on Avatar: The Way of Water. Likely more details to be found as the IMAX trailer gets released, so I will certainly update you guys on on that one. But what do you think about these details? Was there something I missed, or was there something you think I got wrong? Let me know in the comments below, and like I said, if you're new to this channel and want to stay up to date with everything Avatar related, then be sure to click that subscribe button. I want to thank everybody for supporting my content so far during the live streams, for the videos, the likes, the comments, everything. I really appreciate all the support that I've been getting on this channel so far. And until next time, have a fantastic day and stay safe.